Hi everyone, we'll just give it a second or two to let everyone come into the workshop. You're very welcome. Great, so everyone's coming in at the moment. Thanks everyone for joining us today. Great, now they're all just coming in. Hi everyone. I'll just put it into the chat. Hi everyone, we're getting a few chats already. Hi everyone, you're very welcome. We're just going to give it another minute while we let everyone come in. Brilliant. See, a few of you are in the chat already, so that's great. Yeah. Thanks. We're getting there. You are, Heather. A few people are saying they've been looking forward to the class.
Great.
Thanks for organising it. So there we are. So.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks, Patricia. She's saying the video for the last class was great too. Thanks very much, everyone. Well, great. Listen, we're just 2 minutes past 3. So, we're ready and good luck. Thanks, everyone. Great. So I think we'll just get started, Heather, if that's okay. I'll just say a couple of welcomes and then we'll get going. So thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Shauna. I work with Design Crafts Council Ireland. I'm joined by Heather, who's going to be teaching you all how to make your own kite today. I hope you have all the materials ready. If not, you can just watch this and pick up some tips from Heather. And we also have a video that will be up on our YouTube today and that Heather has made us. So it's a pre-recorded video. So you can also watch that again on how to make your own kite. So don't worry if you don't have all of the materials at the moment. Heather's even going to talk through a couple of things that she's been using. So if you don't have one thing, you can swap it out for another. So that's there. And also just to say that this is part of a series of workshops that we are running. The initiative is called Let's Go Fly a Kite, and we are supporting Creative Ireland. The reason we're running all these workshops is that on June 13th, it is Cruinniú na nÓg, which is a free day of creativity for children. So as part of that, we would love for all of you to go into your back gardens, or if you can socially distance in the park, and to have a kite ready to take to the skies. So over the last week, we had our first workshop, and we have 2 more happening next week as well. And they're all different types of kites that you can make, and just so you can have them ready to take to the sky on June 13th for Cruinniú na nÓg. As I said, this has been recorded. We will have it up on our YouTube channel. That we also have another version, a pre-recorded, edited version that's going to be live there as well today. If you've any questions, you can put them into the chat, which everyone is doing here at the moment. Thank you, guys. I can feed those back to Heather. So if you want us to repeat a step, or if you go a little bit slower, just let us know and I can feed that to Heather. That's no problem at all. Another thing is you can check out our website, which is dcci.ie/Let's Go Fly a Kite. And you can find out more information there and other videos that you can watch, or you can go onto the YouTube channel for Design and Crafts Council Ireland. And then finally, as part of the lead up to Cruinniú na nÓg Saturday week on June 13th, we would love if you could share some images with us, maybe even little recordings or videos of you flying your kite. We'd love to see you making it, flying it, decorating your kite. We'd love to see all of that. And you can send us any images you have to getirelandmaking@dcci.ie. I'll put all of this information into the chat as well. If possible, we'd love to share it on our own social media channels. So if you could maybe not have any kids' faces just because of GDPR, but if you focus on hands or making of the kites, that would be fantastic. So last but not least, I'll just hand you over to Heather, and hope everyone enjoys it. As I said, I'll be on the chat, and please let us know if you have any questions. Over to you, Heather.
Oh, hi everybody. Thanks very much for coming to this workshop today for Let's Go Fly a Kite with Cruinniú na nÓg on the 13th of June. You're very welcome to my home studio, also my kitchen. I hope everyone is having an okay time in lockdown and that everyone is healthy and safe. And today we're going to be making a couple of kites. So my name is Heather Gray, and I run an arts organisation called Art Maker Dublin, where I run a lot of workshops, classes and tours in Dublin, which are now all online. And today we're going to be making kites. So this is my version, but I hope that everyone will make their own version. So it's really simple. It's all from completely recycled materials. So we have a plastic bag, paper straws, a chopstick, toilet roll tube. I'm sure everybody has a lot of them at the moment. And then you're also going to need some string and some scrap material for the tail of your kite. So I'll just go through the material list in case people are still scrambling around their house trying to find a couple of things. So you need a plastic bag, 2 paper straws or plastic straws, a chopstick or something similar. So also barbecue skewers work very well. You'll need a scalpel, you'll need a pen, a scissors, some tape. Sellotape is perfect, but if you have masking tape or duct tape is very heavy duty, so that's also fine. Then you'll need some thread. Thick thread would be ideal, but any kind of thread. Scrap material, as I said, string and the toilet roll tube. So this is one version of the kite that you might have seen the picture of earlier. So that's the pink version. And then we also have a golden one. So yeah, your kite, the color of your kite will depend on what type of bag you have. And then we also have this blue one. So you can draw, if you have a permanent marker, you can draw on the plastic. Just allow it to dry before touching it. So you can draw whatever you want on the plastic. And this one is actually made with barbecue skewers, and it's made with much thicker string. So you can do it with anything. And then this is a kitchen roll tube. And for the tail of this one, I've added duct tape and feathers. This is a more industrial kite. So I'm just gonna angle my camera down so you can see what I'm doing, and then we're gonna get started. And if anybody has any questions, just put it into the chat. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna clear off these pre-made kites, and we're gonna get your straws, so whether plastic or paper, your straws and your chopstick. And you're gonna fish the chopstick inside one of the straws until you can't push it in anymore, like this. Then we're gonna get our ruler, and we're just gonna split this straw in half. So my one is 20 centimeters, so I'm just marking 10 centimeters on it all the way around, so we know where to tape. And then I'm gonna mark about 7 centimeters down on the bigger straw. So the chopstick, it's better to have the end of your kite heavier, so that's why the chopstick works well. But there's other ways to add weight to the bottom so that it stays upright as well. So then we're going to get our tape and our scissors, and we're going to tape this across approximately 1/3 of the way down, close to the top. So hopefully you can see that. So my tape is a little bit thick, so I'm just going to cut that in half. And then we're going to tape these together like this. And yeah, it's important that it's at the halfway mark of our crossbeam straw. And then we'll turn it around and we will tape here as well. So I would tape that a couple of times just to give it strength. Don't want that falling apart. So the central axis, that's where we will be tying our string later on. So very important that it's very, very strong. I'm just doing some double taping here. And as well as that, so now we should have a cross like this. And just to reinforce that, I'm going to get my string or my thick thread, and I'm going to tie around what I've just taped, just to make sure that it's super, super tight. So you're crisscrossing with the string or the thread. And then you can tie it very tightly at the back. So if you have plastic straws, you might want to be careful that they don't collapse. So we do not want the straws to collapse. Or if you're making this with barbecue skewers, I think you can tie it as tightly as you like, because they're not going to fall apart for sure. And I'm doing a double knot on each side for extra strength. That should be super, super tight there. And then I'm just going to cut off the excess pieces of string there. Now, okay, so you've got a super tight cross there. That's the beginning of our kite, the most important bit. And we're going to get our scalpel next. So if there's children making this on their own, I would like you to go and get an adult to help you with this. So I think it's important not to do this on your own. So a scalpel or a sharp scissors will work. And maybe we'll just wait a minute until everybody has made their cross. I can see a few messages for people asking to slow down a little bit. So, so we'll give that a minute.
Thanks, Heather. If you want to maybe kind of talk through those steps again in case anyone joined a little bit late.
Yes, sure thing. So hello everybody. So if you've just joined us, what we did there was we got our 2 straws, and then we got our chopstick, which will provide weight at the bottom of our kite. So it's very, very useful. And then we put the chopstick inside one of the straws like this. So we've made a nice long piece for the middle of our kite. Then we got our second straw, which is going to go across the top. I measured to the middle of it. So mine is 20 centimeters, but whatever the middle of your kite, whatever the middle of your straw is. So I'm marking 10 here. And then I taped that on. So yeah, I'll just do a second one. You can never have too many kites. So then you're going to tape that on approximately a third of the way down, but you don't have to be exact with that at all, to be honest. As long as it's close to the top. And definitely, yeah, definitely not in the middle. About a third of the way down your longer stick. So then I'm getting my tape and I'm going to tape that across like so. And you're squishing the tape around to make it nice and tight, and then flip it over. And then we're going to tape the back as well. So I'm going to double tape it, and then I'm going to tie string around it, as it is the foundation of our kite. So it's important, important that it's very strong. So ton of tape on this axis here now. And then I'm going to get a little bit of string, and I'm going to tie the string around the middle. And so this is, yep, very important part of the kite. So you're crisscrossing the string around the middle, and then you're going to tie it on the opposite side, like so. And then just do the same again on the back. And I have a bit of string left, so I'm going the same again on the front as well. There. So that is super, super tight, like that. I just have a little bit of string left over, so you chop off the bits if you like, for purposes only, really. And then we are going to start cutting into our paper straws and into the bottom of our chopstick. So we'll go back to this one that I made first. And now this bit, we're using a scalpel, but you can also use a scissors if you have a scissors. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting a slit in the top of the straw. So halfway across the circle of our straw, we're going to be cutting a little slit there, and the thread is going to be threaded through that piece. So if you are under 18, please get an adult to help you with this bit, because we don't want any cut fingers. That would be tragic. Okay, so what I'm doing now is I'm just going to have a look through the middle of the straw, and then I'm cutting across very carefully. And I'm going about half a centimeter into the straw, like this. Hopefully you can see that properly. And I'm going to do that on all three sides that are exposed. That's 2. And that's 3. So then we're going to go down to the bottom of our chopstick, down here, and we're going to make another notch here. So this is a little bit, you'll need to apply a little bit more pressure to make this notch. So I'm going at an angle from the left-hand side, and then I'm going to go at another angle from the right. So I'm cutting out a little notch from the bottom. And then you can kind of ease that out with your scalpel, like that. Now, so I've got 4 grooves there, and we've got one at the bottom of our chapstick. And actually, I'm going to do the same on the back of the chapstick as well. So it depends what you're using. If you're using a barbecue skewer, you probably don't need to go around the back. It's probably fine with just one notch. So it's just to catch the thread and make it a little bit stronger. So again, you're just gonna edge that out a little bit there. There. So now we have got 4 notches in our straws on our chapstick, and then we're going to get our thread. So hopefully everybody has found thread or string or wool even, or dental floss. You can use anything. Dental floss would be a good one, actually. That's yeah, household material that could be repurposed for making a straw. And we're going to start threading our whatever we have. Maybe it's dental floss. We're going to start threading whatever we have through our straws. So we're just placing that in here. So it's gone into the little notch that we made earlier. And then we're bringing it up here to the top. And we're going to go across to the top. So it should be taut like that. We're going to go across here as well and make sure we're keeping things even as well. And then we're going to bring our thread down to the bottom here. So I might actually make it a little bit longer. So you can pull the thread through the straws if you need to, without taking it out. I'm just going to put these back here and here. So I have a good bit of thread left over then for the bottom. So we make sure that we have this even, and then we're going to tie this one down here at the bottom on our notch. So we're tying them one at a time. And you want to tie that really tight, as tight as you can. And don't worry if it loosens up a little bit here, because we'll be able to make it tighter when we're tying the other end. So that's fine, not a problem. Now, so that's super, super tight. That's not going to come off. And then we're going to just pull the other side tighter. So this bit is coming up here, across here, and down here. And then we also want to make sure that this is even. So mine has moved a little bit. So just make sure that it's straight across. Yep, that looks perfect. So then we're going to tie this one down here to match the end of our arm. Okay, so just tie it around and go above, and then you can loop the string through here. And tie. And then just tie a couple of knots in that just for extra security. So it's definitely not going to move. Okay, I've done about 5. So I've done about 5 knots at the bottom. So now we have our 2 pieces of string left at the bottom. So I'm going to tie them together for even more security. This recycled material kite should last for about 100 years or so. It's not going to fall apart easily, that's for sure. So tie very, very tight. And the string should be quite taut. So it can move a little bit, but it's a little bit like the string in a bow and arrow. So you don't want it loose at all. You want it to be like a guitar string, right? So it's actually making noise, so that's a good sign. And I'm gonna do one more knot, and then we'll move on.
Thanks, Heather. We're just a couple of people are asking if it was possible just to repeat some of that section. That'd be brilliant.
Yep, no problem at all. Yep, I can do that again on this one. So I'm just gonna, if anyone is finished this bit, I'm just gonna chop off these bits at the end and then put it to the side. So this is what you'll end up with. You'll end up with this initial kite shape. So I'll put that to the side, and then we'll repeat that step, and then we'll come back to this one. Okay, so this is our section that we are using a scalpel. So if you are a young person, please ask an adult to help you to use the scalpel. You don't have to have a scalpel. You could also use a scissors or a kitchen knife. And yeah, if worst case scenario, you actually don't have to cut into them at all. You could just tie your string around. So to be honest, it's not a disaster if you miss this step. So what we are doing is we're going halfway. If you are using the scalpel, we're going halfway down through the circle at the end of the straw. And then we're gonna make about a 1 centimeter cut into the straw like this. So there's just a little notch at the top, and we're gonna do that all the way around. There, number 2. And number 3. And then again, this is, yeah, if you do have a scalpel, this is a good step to do for strength, but it's not necessary. You don't have to do this bit. So I'm just cutting into the wood at an angle, so 45-degree angle, chopping down there, and then I'm going to go back the other direction as well. And then we're going to remove that little notch at the bottom. There we go. So yeah, just an extra notch for extra security. And now we're going to get some string. So I have got a couple of bits of string here. So this is actually slightly thicker string, but it'll still work, that's fine. Any type of string will work. So anything you can find at home. So now we're going to thread this through. So we're going to leave some string for the bottom, for tying it on the bottom. And we'll start at the top this time. So you're just going to push your thread into the notch that you've made, like this. Yeah, so it's just going across. We go around this side. And we'll do the same here. And this side, we do the same here as well. So they're through. And nice and tight. And then we get our shorter piece of string, or it doesn't really matter actually. But we're going to get one piece of string and we're going to tie it tightly to the bottom of our kite or our chopstick, as the case may be. And I'm just going to wind that around like this, really tight, as tight as you can. Then I'm tying it by pulling the string through this loop here and around like this. So that's our first knot. And we're going to pull that down, down, down. Nice and tight, like this. And I'll just do another knot there as well for extra security. Now. And don't worry if the whole thing is a bit loose at this point, that's fine, because our other side is going to tighten that up. So I've done 3 knots there now at the bottom. And we're just going to pull the string through to straighten up our kite. We've gone a little bit wonky there. That's okay, that's all fixable. So we've got 1, pulling it tighter at the top here now, and pulling it tighter here. So this is what we have now at the moment. The 3-sided kite, not much good to us. So we're going to go down to the bottom and we're going to do the same thing that we just did. Just going to wind that around, but this time it's important to keep things tight. So just hold on to it as you wind it, like so. There, so that's pretty tight. So now I'm going to tie it around like this. And again, we're just going to do a couple of knots in there. Probably be easier to see if I was wearing a white apron. It's easy to see on the paper. So yeah, so that's our second kite body here. And we're left with these 2 bits at the bottom, and I'm just going to tie them together for extra security. Again, about 3 times, and then I'm going to chop off these bits at the bottom. Now, so that's our kite body made. And again, you want this to be quite taut, fairly tight between the sections of the kite. So I'm going to put that to one side. And now we're going to get our plastic bag. So the most important part of our kite wouldn't be much good without this. So find your favorite plastic bag from your house, whatever that might be. And you're going to cut it in half. So wait a moment. So you're going to get your scissors. And the first thing we're going to cut on our bag is the handles. So the top, the very top of the handles. Chop. And chop. And then from when you cut the handles, you're still left with a bag, but we're going to destroy it even further. So then we're going to cut it down the side, across the bottom, and up the other side. So we're left with 2 pieces of plastic. So I'm just cutting down the side here now. There we go. And we're cutting across the bottom here. And then we're just cutting up the other side. So you should have two flat pieces of plastic now. And maybe your bag might have kind of pleats at the bottom, so you can cut them out as well. Yeah. So now we've got our two bits of plastic. So we just need one of them for one kite. So you can put one to the side and just hold up your bag and see, are there any holes in the bag? There's one tiny one in mine. So I'm going to get a bit of tape and I'm just going to tape it on both sides so that no air can get through. So you can't, if you have sellotape, you won't be able to see it. But any tape at all will do. That's totally fine. And double check there's no holes in the bag. Yeah, I think it's grand. And now we're going to go back to our frame. So we have our frame made here. Hopefully everybody has this at this stage, and hopefully everyone has our piece of plastic here. And if you can't find a bag, another piece of plastic will do as well. So there's lots of different options. And now we're going to get our pen and we're going to just mark around our kite. So you want a little bit of space around the kite. So about 3 centimeters, but you don't have to be exact at all. I'm not going to be exact with it. So you just need to leave a little bit of space. So I'm just marking here, about here, here, and then all the way to the bottom of the bag. And then you can use a ruler if you like, but I'm not going to. You're just going to mark a straight line between the points. And take away your frame. And then we're going to cut out this piece of our kite. Yeah, plastic is actually a lovely material to cut through. Very straight lines, and it cuts the same in any direction, unlike material. Now, so you can put the scrap to the side and just chop off any excess bits. And then you'll be left with your diamond shape like this. So I'm going to put that to the side and I'm going to bring back my frame. So my frame is here and we are going to tape the ends of our straws before we put on the plastic. So when we put the thread through the straw, it means that the this end is open. So we don't want any air to get in here when the kite is flying. So I'm just going to tape up these 3. So again, the tape that I have is a little bit wide, but maybe yours is different. So I'm just chopping it in half here. And you're just taping across the top of the straw. And then squish that around. It also means that our thread is not gonna come out as well. The thread won't escape easily. And I'm just doing this one now as well. And we're going across like this.
Thanks, Heather. Hope everyone's following along. If you need anything repeated, just let us know which part. Heather, just one question from someone. They're wondering, could you use a piece of light material like cotton for your kite?
Cotton unfortunately won't work because the wind will go through it. So you really need something plastic, to be honest. If you have a cereal bag, if you've got a bag from cereal, that will work. Any type of, like a bin bag would be perfect. If you've got a sweets bag that's big enough, if you have like a huge bag of sweets, that would work as well. But yeah, cotton won't work for the body of the kite, but it will work for the tail. So you can use that cotton for the tail, no problem, which we will be making in a little bit. So hopefully that answers your question.
Great, thanks, Heather.
Thanks, John. So I'm just doing one more over here, and then we're going to tape our bag on. Even newspaper will work. So if you're a very environmentally friendly household and you can't find any plastic at all, you can make a kite from newspaper. So yeah, or magazines. A magazine would work as well. I'm trying to think of anything else that might work. Some leaves, some huge banana leaves might work, but probably people at home don't have huge banana leaves. Maybe. Okay, so we've taped the top of our straws, or if you're using bamboo sticks, then that's fine. You don't need to do that. And now we're gonna put our kite onto our body. So all we need for this is tape, and then we need our frame and we need our piece of plastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape the top 3 pieces onto the frame. So we're just tacking it on really at this stage. So that's the first one, like this. And this is the second one. So this doesn't need to be super exact at this stage. So you're just taping the sides onto the straws with a little bit of tape, not very much. And then we're going to this side. And just pull that a little bit just to make sure it's tight across the top. That's it. So we should have the top 3 pieces taped on there, like so. And at this stage, I'm going to put on my tail just before I tape the bottom. So if you want to get another piece of string about 1 meter long, so string or wool or dental floss, whatever you have, whatever you're using, and we're going to tie that. We're going to tie that onto the bottom of the kite. So I'm tying it above my original knot there. Anywhere is fine. Now, so I've just done 3 knots at the bottom to tape that on. I should tie that on even. And then I have about a meter, probably have a bit more than a meter, but I can cut it later. And this is for our tail. So we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that there. And then we're going to tape the bottom of our plastic onto the frame. Okay. So you're taping over our tail, which we just stuck on there. And we're leaving the tail at the bottom like this. So it should look like this at the moment with the tail at the bottom. And then we're going to tape the sides. So again, starting at the top, we're just going to fold our plastic over the string like so. And then we're taping the plastic onto itself. So you can kind of push the tape under the straws at the sides. So we're not really taping it to the straws. We're just taping the bag onto the bag here in the middle like this. Okay, so I'm going to go to the other side now. And holding that down and taping across like so. And then...
Hi Heather, just before you finish the rest of the kite with sticking it on, do you mind just talking through the first few steps again? A couple of people are saying they're finding it hard to keep up, and one person is asking about, putting the plastic bag on.
Yep, no problem at all. Putting the plastic bag on. So would you like me to go through the initial, I could go through all of it again quite quickly, or? Okay, that's what I'll do. Okay, so if you've just joined, what we are doing is we are using paper straws and a chopstick, some string, a plastic bag, if you have one. We're using these recycled materials to make a kite. We're making a mini kite. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to put the chopstick inside one of your straws. So I'm using paper straws, but plastic straw would work as well. Essentially, we're making an axis. We're making an axis for our kite, for our frame. So you want to tape your straw about 1/3 of the way down on the longer straw. Tape it and then tie it quite tightly. So it's important that this is very tight, because it's an important bit. Once we've done that, what we're doing is we're putting string around each side. So we're threading string through the top of the straws, and then we're tying it at the bottom. We're tying it to the bottom of the chopstick here, like this. So how I did that is I used a scalpel and I cut a slit into the side of the paper straws of about 1 centimeter at the top of each one. Then I cut a slit at the bottom of our chopstick as well. So gouged out a little bit at the bottom just to give this extra strength so that the string has somewhere to sit. And if the wind is very strong, it's not going to pull it apart, which is important. So that's our frame. So that's our frame done. And again, you can use different materials. If you end up with something that looks a little bit like this, then you're going the right way. You're going the right direction. So that's perfect, even with other materials. Then our next bit that we do is we are going to get a plastic bag. So I have another plastic bag here. So we got a plastic bag. You can also use newspaper. You could use clear sticky paper as well. What else could you use? If you have a bag for cereal, that is a perfect material for this. So you could put the cereal into the box and you could use that bag. So I cut the plastic bag in half, and then I got my frame, and I put my frame onto the bag like so, and then I measured around it. So I got about 3 centimeters extra width. So that's what we're going to tape. That's how we're going to fold the bag and tape it. So essentially we're making our diamond shape. So we're just tracing around our kite a little bit, making it a little bit bigger than it is. Then we're going to get our scissors like this. And if there's any very young people making a kite today, you might want to get an adult to help you with this. So we take the frame off, and then we're going to just cut out our diamond shape, making sure that the diamond is larger than the frame. So that's very important. So the diamond shape you put from the plastic needs to be about 3 centimeters larger than your frame, because we're going to fold the plastic around the frame. Yeah. So I'm just cutting out another diamond here. You can get rid of the scrap material, and you should end up with a shape like this. So this is our diamond. And then with our diamond, we are going to bring our frame back. And before we start taping it on, so we will be taping it to the sides. You can see the plastic is a bit bigger than the frame. But before we do that, we're just going to tape across if you are using straws, we're just going to tape across the straw, the top of the straw, so that no air can get in here. And then we're also going to tie on a bit of material at the bottom for our tail.
Hi Heather, that's great. I think that's the step that they just wanted to get up to, so that's perfect. Just to let you know, we are 55 minutes in. I know you've more to get through, but don't worry, everyone's still here.
Yeah. Okay, so time is flying. So we're gonna, hopefully everyone is at this stage already. We're gonna go back to our blue kite, and we're gonna continue.
And just to say to everyone as well, obviously, if you've come in a little bit late, this is being recorded, and I'll show you a link at the very end to where you can watch Heather's pre-recorded video, so you can watch that back as well.
Yeah, yeah. So that one is easy to pause. Yeah, and that's when I made the pink kite that you saw at the start. So we're just going to continue with this. So I've started taping the top. We have our tail here at the bottom, and then we are just taping. So you're folding the plastic over the string, and then we're going to tape the plastic onto itself, like so. And then we go over the other side. And pull that down and then tape. Now, so everybody should have the beginnings of a kite that should look a little bit like this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of extra tape around just to secure the plastic. So you don't really want any bits of plastic coming up away from the frame. So just going to put a bit more tape on here. So any bits that are sticking out, just tape them down like so. Yeah. Cool. So that's all taped and that's looking good. So it should look like this and nice and tight. So string is tight, edges are tight, and the plastic should be tight. So the next thing that we are going to do is we're going to get our scrap material. So whoever that was that has some cotton, you can definitely do this step. So whatever you have is fine. I have this lovely sparkly gold material, which I've been using for so many different projects. So we're just going to cut that into strips. So it's probably about 20 centimeters. You don't need to measure, but I'd say it's about 20 centimeters across. And make sure you don't cut your kite in the process. I'm sure there's people looking at me now saying, that's not 20 centimeters. And you would be right. This is probably 30. Yeah, probably about 30 centimeters. So the tail of the kite, we want it to be heavy. Again, like the bottom of the kite, you want it to be a little bit heavier. And that's what is going to keep your kite upright when it flies. So do one more. There. So then we're going to get our tail. So we're bringing our kite back here. We're going to get our tail, and then we are just going to tie our bits of scrap material. Yeah, so you can use anything for this. If you have like an old t-shirt that you could cut up, or even bits of plastic. Plastic is quite light though, is the only thing. But plastic with duct tape on it makes it a little bit heavier. Or even if you have cardboard, flat bits of cardboard, you can tie them on. So I'm just tying this in knots along my tail, like so. And I can't wait to see the kites that all of you make. And I hope that you'll take a picture of your kite and put it up on Facebook or Instagram. And if you tag us, then we can have a look. We can see what you've done. Because obviously mine is just one way to do it, but I'm sure they're all going to look really, really different. And there'll probably be some really cool ones that we would love to see. So I've just put 4 bits of this material on, and then I've also got another bag of goodies here. So I'm going to put on some wool as well. So yeah, it's a good time to use up any of these weird materials that you might have at home. I even have some wire here as well. If you did want to put wire on, you could do that as well. It'd be good for the weight. So I'm going to use this dark sparkly wool that I have. I'm going to just cut it into strips as well. So I'm just going to put 4 or 5 pieces of this on. Like this. And I'll just tie them below my other bits, the gold material. And yeah, so hopefully everyone you mightn't be at this stage yet, but hopefully everyone is working away on their kite. I'm probably going a little bit fast because I've made a good few kites now at this stage. But if it's the first time that you're making a kite, that's totally fine. If maybe you're still on the first bit with the straws, or maybe you're cutting out the plastic, or maybe you are running around your house searching for for the right materials. Who knows? So yeah, wherever you are with your kite, that's totally fine. And as Shauna said, there is a video. So there'll be a video up on YouTube. I think it's going to go up today of the making of the other kite. So if you are still going, you'll be able to go and have a look at that, and you can slow it down and look at the different sections. Okay, so I'm just putting two different colors on my tail. So I'm just going to move all this to the side, and I'll show you the tail. So that's the tail that I've made for this one with the blue. So blue and gold, always good color combination. And what else do we need to do? So an important part of our kite. We're gonna go back to the back of the kite. We leave our tail there, and then we need to make a holder for our kite. So when we're out and about, we're gonna need a really long piece of string, or if you're using wool, you could use the whole roll, or if you're using twine, you could use the whole ball of twine. So I find it's handy to roll it up on a toilet roll tube. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get a little bit of tape. So get your toilet roll tube and some tape, and whatever string or wool or whatever you might have, I'm just gonna tape that on at the bottom, like so, and then wind my string on there. And yeah, the longer the better, really. So this is my holder, and then we're going to get the other end of this, and we're going to thread that through the middle of our kite. So you're going underneath the axis here. So you're just bringing, yeah, yarn would be fine. That would be totally fine. Yeah, I mean, if it's very windy, depending on how thick it is, maybe it might break, but no, I think wool or yarn, I think that should be totally fine. So what we're doing now is we're just tying our string or whatever we're using around the central axis. Yep, so we're just tying that on, and just tie it a couple of times. I'm gonna do 3 or 4 knots and pull it super, super tight. Now, so that's super tight on the central axis of your kite, so you can pull it and it's not going to come off. And I'm just going to chop that extra bit of string off there at the top, and I'll wind up my holder a little bit more, and that's it. So that's our whole kite. So we have our 3 different parts. We've got our beautiful sparkly tail, and then we've got our body of the kite here in sky blue, and then we've got our holder. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed that, and I hope whatever stage of kite making you're at, that you are having fun, and I can't wait to see the kites that you all make. So do send us to them. Yeah, and thank you very much for joining, and yeah, that's it.
Thanks so much, Heather. Really lovely seeing that, and I hope everyone was following along. We've got some nice comments saying thanks, and they said they love the blue and gold, to send their high school colours in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow,
which is really nice. But a huge thank you to Heather for doing that for us today. We've got another comment saying that was lovely. That's fantastic. And as Heather said, we'd love to see all of your images, maybe some videos if anyone has them, of flying their kites out in the garden, or maybe even in the park. I've been putting it in. We actually shared the link to your video, Heather, so I'll put that up on the screen now. And we also, I've actually just checked, we've gotten some emails already of pictures. So they've sent them to getirelandmaking@dcci.ie. So thanks, guys. I'll share the screen and I'll just show you the YouTube channel. Can everyone see that? Hope so. So there it is. There's Heather's video. I can't play it unfortunately at the moment because we said, as Heather and I discussed earlier on, Zoom isn't very good for videos, but that's it there. And you can see some other videos here in the Get Ireland Making playlist that we've had over the last few weeks, including Rebecca's last week. So everyone's welcome to go and check that out. And we've got some other questions. Can you decorate the plastic kite on the bag?
Yes, yeah, that's a great idea. So if you have Posca pens, which are paint markers, they're perfect for this. Or if you have any kind of permanent marker or a fine liner pen like this, the Staedtler fine liner. So that's what I used just to put to this one. So yeah, you can definitely decorate them, and that's a great idea. Yep.
Oh, fantastic, Heather. And as we said, please do. Lots of people are saying here that they'll send us some pictures and videos, and we'd love to see them. But yeah, I think that's everything for today. We hope everyone is able to have their kites ready for June 13th for Crinne na nÓg. And once again, thank you to all of you for joining us. It's been great, and thanks for all your lovely comments. And then finally, Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shauna. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks.
Hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.